I know my hair is crazy again. There's no time for a haircut with COVID. Might just let it go for the rest of the year. Thanks to Damo for the thumbnail. Today I'm going to do, keeping my channel active fragrance wise, I'm going to do my favorite fall fragrances. Or maybe just some fall fragrance suggestions. And I'm going to try to keep this fun, so this is not necessarily a top complimented getting fragrance video. But I really want to kind of try to keep with that sort of like, there's a and I guess every place is different, but there's that sort of idea of like there's a spring air, spring smell in the air. There's fall is in the air, so I really want to go with that kind of fall leaves, maybe a campfire in the background, burning leaves, whatever. Generally speaking, this is going to err on the side of trying to be fun. Okay. Anyway, so what are some fun fall fragrance suggestions that you might do? I would say Bois de Says, Naomi's Good Sirs Bois de Says, that really smells like campfire, maybe even like a barbecue, charcoal, whatever. Naomi Good Sirs Bois de Says. I'm going to try to keep this somewhat fast, but I'll describe a little bit. Again, great novelty scent. I've talked about it before. Another great one is Kerosene's Blackmail. I would wear this one for compliments. I wouldn't be afraid of wearing this one for compliments. Kerosene's Blackmail kind of smells like someone had, maybe you're outside, it's the fall, and someone had actually been marshmallowing some marshmallows over a campfire, and the smoke coming from it is like a mix of, it's not like a gray smoke, it's like a blueberry black, black and blue kind of like mist coming from it, berry kind of smell coming from these roasted marshmallows, and some campfire off in the distance. You know what I mean? Leaves falling everywhere. Great scent. I love Kerosene's Blackmail is a great one, right? Next one, House of Matriarchs Cacao Teride. What does that smell like? I would say, again, another fall. A lot of these fragrances are going to be pretty woody. um, I would say that smells like you made some hot chocolate. You take the hot chocolate out. It is smoldering hot. It is going to burn someone. It's too hot to drink right now. So you put your hot chocolate on a wooden table. The wooden table then starts to almost become charred, and you put in like a little bit of a marshmallow and whipped cream in this like smoldering hot chocolate, right? And it's like burning the piece of wood that you put it on, and so that sort of charred smoke is almost giving, with a little bit of a whipped cream and really thick chocolate, the smoke coming from all of that is almost a little bit of a tobacco smell. Somewhat harsh, but again, it has some novelty factor to it. I like this one. What else do we have? Dolce & Gabbana, the One Royal Night. Let's get one that should probably be pretty easy to get compliments on. I've talked about it before. Dolce & Gabbana, the One is one of my most complimented fragrances of all time and one of my most favorites. What does Dolce & Gabbana, the One Royal Night smells like? I'm adding this one just because if we're going with maybe when you think of small, or when you think of fall, a little bit more of like fall air, if you will, breeze, whatever you want to call it. I would say this one smells like you go to a vending machine that is made out of sandalwood, right? Put in your quarters, you get your pop can of Dolce & Gabbana, you know what I mean? You open the pop can of Dolce & Gabbana and you get a little bit of, because this one has that nutmeg, it's a little bit fizzy, it tingles your nose a little bit, but it's still that great Dolce & Gabbana, the one taste, Pepsi, whatever that cliche commercials are, right? So sandalwood vending machine, you get your Dolce & Gabbana, the one. It's still Dolce & Gabbana, the one, but it's got a little bit of fizziness, more woody. Another great scent, love it, right? When we think of fall, we think of marshmallows and s'mores. So, of course, the best s'more scent would be Terry, or I think her perfume house is now called Kiss Perfumes. We Plus, Oi Plus. It doesn't smell like a real marshmallow per se. It smells more like a fake marshmallow, like a marshmallow mix, right? And that's not that I don't think it smells good. It smells good, okay? Still smells awesome, but it's not a real marshmallow. But still, if we're thinking fall and marshmallows, that would be a nice one to try out. And she has a lot of good gourmand fragrances that are very easy to sample and not very expensive. So check her out. What else do I have here? Monserrat Oudvenine, right? Going with that kind of wood smell. I wore this today. This is another one I've gotten compliments in real life. This one smells like, imagine, boy, you're about to smoke some tobacco, whatever you're about to do, right? And you only have just a little bit of vanilla left, and you put the vanilla right at the very beginning, and then the rest you have no other ingredients for whatever you're packing, dude. And so you're like, shit, what do I do? And you're like, well, we have some campfire wood that we used last night, right? And so you put this campfire wood and you smash it down, you're rolling it up, whatever you're doing, dude. And then you glaze it with just a little bit of sugar, right? So pretty harsh. Pretty harsh. I feel like it's more harsh than I've seen other people in the community say it is, but it is not harsh to be immediately offensive or to be like a novelty scent per se. I think it runs again that fine line of feeling a little bit novelty that you can use your imagination for it and still being wearable. What else do we have here? We have Al Contraro's Tiziani's Terenzis, Al Contraro, however you say it. If we're thinking about gourmand fragrances, I'll use this one. What would I say this one smells like? This one is not as, it's foodie, but it's not as foodie as some of the reviews I've read. I would say this does smell feminine. So almost imagine, man, maybe you got some girl. Like a girl is, she's taking a bubble bath, whatever she's doing, just because it is feminine smelling to me. But, and for some reason she has a fireplace in her bathroom, and she lights this wood that has like sugar on it. She lights it, and the wood is kind of like burnt wood a little bit that is somehow seeped out some chocolate. It is very foodie smelling, but not as foodie smelling as I feel some other people have said. But yeah, maybe some burnt kind of wood. Maybe some chocolate is seeping out of it. Sugar with a feminine touch, I guess. Something like that. What else do we have? This one is a little bit more fun. Not super fall, but you know, I know people want to get compliments. So another fragrance that I've gotten a lot of compliments on. And it fits with the whole, you know, woody thing. House of Sillage #1. Another fantastic scent. What would I say this smells like? I always imagine someone, if you can imagine, you're going in, I imagine a rich guy is going into this dimly dark room where the only lights are red lights are lighting everything up, maybe a hint of orange, right? And for some reason, these rich guys are also drinking like a cherry Coke or something like that. Some people have lit some tobacco, or some people are wearing tobacco vanille in this red lit room. And there's an incense stick near you. And the incense stick, to light it, you put whipped cream on it. And then when you light this whipped cream incense stick, it bleeds down cherry. And it becomes almost like a cherry popsicle incense stick. Whatever. I mean, this smells great. I've always said this. One of the main things I say about this one is, when you look at the notes, it is not as offensive as you might think it is. So don't worry about that, okay? Another one, if we're thinking about coffee scents, we got to wear coffee scents. If you're thinking about fall, fall is coming, winter is coming before the winter becomes the fall. Maybe you're drinking some coffee. I still think the best coffee fragrance ever is Barista's Legendary. End of story. I just think it's the best coffee fragrance still, right? What else do we have? You know, just to like get into like throw a lot of shit out there. I know if we're thinking about fall, you probably think, oh, what are some good tobacco scents? There's just so many, tons and tons of tobacco fragrances. You know what I mean? I could wear Side Effect, Rehab, Herod. What else did I write down here? Tobacco Cognac, Daniel Barros' Tobacco Cognac. I don't even think you can get it anymore, but I'm going to shout him out because I still think that is an awesome tobacco fragrance, right? You know, some people talk about Burberry's London, right? But if you were thinking about what smells just a little bit more fall than other things to me, I would say one, if you're thinking about that sort of, some people think, and this isn't that they smell exactly all alike, but to say that they have a little bit of a facet of this, if you're thinking about stuff like cherry apple pies or some kind of bullshit like that, you know what I mean? I know some people like amber narguilé, whatever it is. And again, I'm not saying these all smell alike, but when I think of, there's like a specific kind of cherry tobacco fall kind of thing, maybe that kind of, with a bit of a crispness, a little bit of a crispness. I would think Daniel Joser's. I'm not sure. I'm probably saying his name wrong. Sorry, dude. Amber Tabac, 1 Million Privé, and Olfactive Studios Close Up. I think would be good for that. And maybe another one, again, not in this same realm, but might be Tea for Two, because Tea for Two has that kind of green smell. I could see Tea for Two being a more specifically fall kind of tobacco scent. Okay, what else? We're almost done here, dudes. If I'm thinking about amber fragrances, per se, what do I think of for the main thing? You have probably Tom Ford's Amber Absolute. What does Amber Absolute smell like? And I've told this before, people are going to hate on me. I actually have gotten unsolicited compliments on Amber Absolute. I know it is a little bit harsh at the beginning. It's a little bit out there, but the whisper of it is still always good. Um, I would say Amber Absolute is almost like you're going into, maybe you see a kind of not quite funky, but potentially out there. Maybe it's not barnyardy, but it is a potentially harsh kind of like woody, not like an outhouse, but whatever. There's a bit of a harshness to it. But once you find like, do I really want to go in here? You go in there and you're like, wow, dude, someone has made amber frosting all over the place. You just, a piece of wood with amber cake frosting, whatever it is. Oh man, it smells so good. And it is extremely long lasting. You know, a lot of times when I'm just laying down there reading Japanese, whatever I'm doing, I've had the smell because I have my pillow there, dude. My pillow is there, dude, and I was wearing Amber Absolute recently. My pillow was smelling like Amber Absolute for days, and wow, it smelled fantastic. Besides that, kind of in that same vein, not exactly, but I've said Dolce and Gabbana Amber Sun. What does that smell like? That also kind of smells like you're going into an old ice cream shop, right? It's like a very woody ice cream shop. It does smell a little bit old, but once you go in there, maybe they serve you some ice cream in a crystallized amber ice cream bowl. You take your crystallized amber ice cream bowl filled with vanilla ice cream, and you take this wooden incense stick, whatever you want to call it, and you're scooping out the ice cream, and the ice cream is melting together with this amber bowl, and it's becoming this color of orange and red. And this scent definitely got much better for me when I really thought of it as incense, actually. Just a vanilla incense, ambery. It really worked much, much better for me. Another one that I like a lot. Besides that, to finish these off with the last two, I haven't mentioned by Kilian. I've said this before, but by Kilian is one of my, possibly when I think of niche fragrances, I've said this before, when you talk in terms of wearability, although by Kilian does not have any fragrance for me that is one of my favorite, if I was rich, they're just, wow. The collection, what is the English word? The catalog of whatever their fragrances, I would probably own 10, 12. There's just so many fragrances from them that are good, dude. Just not going to gush about them, but they have a lot of good fragrances, dude. And finally, Tom Ford. I think about Tom Ford fragrances when I think of fall. I think of wearing stuff, again, like Amber Absolute, like I mentioned. I think of wearing Tuscan leather. You know, I might get a decant of this. I've been thinking about, Oud Wood Intense. Is it Oud Wood Intense? Because that has a bit more of a novelty vibe of fall, I think, which makes it fun when you're spending so much money on fragrances. When you're spending this kind of money, I feel like they need to have something a little bit extra that makes them interesting to you. And then, of course, finally, Tobacco Vanille, one of my favorite fragrances of all time. If you don't know Tobacco Vanille, fantastic scent. Anyway, keeping my channel active, guys. Again, no haircut crew. How's it looking? I'll get a haircut eventually, dude. Anyway, keeping my channel active fragrance-wise. Thanks. The end.